This is how to improve your email outreach with high converting copy and personalization. We're about to set your outreach on fire and drive a flood of replies. As email content providers, we have been told that with most email outreach strategies, it's just to stay consistent with your outreach that sooner or later you will end up on a call with a potential client. This is somewhat true if you understood what professional outreach is all about. Most of you have been slamming and jamming DMs on Instagram because that is all that you have been taught to do. Compliment then pitch, offer then wait, attach an unwanted request for a Loom video. The good news is that none of this has gone to waste. None of this has been a waste of time. In fact, all of this effort you've been putting into your outreach will pay off, but not in the way that you think. In this episode of the Copy Shop podcast, we'll go over why the way you're conducting outreach is not only not effective, it's counterproductive. We'll go over the proper steps to secure your client in ways you never thought possible. And it's not some new AI trick or some deep, dark creator secrets. Stay tuned for some really interesting and simple procedures that will unlock those hidden secrets and put your outreach on fire. Let's roll that intro. Here you are, and you just sent 10 outreach messages. And in 1 to 3 days, you'll get a positive response from 7 of those 10. That's a huge success rate, towards 85%. How is this even possible? When just before you were looking up things like cold email outreach for freelancers or how to write cold emails that get responses, and still not getting any responses that could lead you to working with clients. In this episode of the Copy Shop podcast, we're going to go over the reasons why your outreach sucks, and it does, how to fix it, and the direct methods that top-tier agencies and other professionals use each and every time they send messages to prospects. I'm the owner of the Outdoor Writing Company and have been for over 25 years. I'm also the owner and lead instructor here at the Copy Shop. And I want to give out a great big thank you to everyone for being here. This shows that you are very interested in increasing your email copywriting skill sets, and that we are providing great content to help you along the way. Once again, thank you for being here. As stated before, I am the owner of the Outdoor Writing Company, and I have sent, what appears to be millions of outreach messages, only to get denied time after time after time. I would get responses like, we don't need a writer. We don't need a copywriter. We have our own staff. We don't work with freelancers. The list just goes on. And that's even if I got a response. I found myself searching for things like email outreach mistakes freelancers make, only to find a ton of misleading information and no real results. Nothing you could actually get anything from. I even tried using cold email templates for freelance services. Some I found online, some I heard about. The problem with using those templates is everyone else is using the exact same scripts. So your messages sound like every other freelance copywriter cold email example in their inbox. That's why you're not getting replies. Even if you're doing email outreach to get freelance clients consistently, time after time, doing the same thing repetitively. But if you are practicing wrong, you're not going to get anywhere. You need to practice perfectly. Perfect practice gets results. Now, what actually works is simple, but most people skip it. They don't know. Instead of thinking a template, you need to think somewhere outside what's being used all the time. Think of strategy. Think of personalization. Think of the positioning within the message itself. This is what separates beginners when they're out searching sales, email copywriting for beginners, or other search terms, from freelancers who consistently book calls using freelance lead generation cold email strategies. Strategies. That's important. And here's a simple 3-part structure you can use immediately, like right now. Number 1, make a personalized opener. Know about the person that you're sending the email to. And if you can't find a person, know about the business. We went over this a lot. And the video titled your 6 steps to pre-qualify your prospect. This is one of those steps. Get to know the business, the owner, the person in charge. This is where most people fail, because if you're not using real email personalization techniques for outreach, your emails are going to get ignored. They're just not going to pay attention to it. Hey bro, that's not going to cut it. And if you can't get the name, use the company name. Use the company name. Don't say something like, hey, love your business. Say something specific. In response to your recent launch, your new content, or even a problem they may not be aware of, such as the Gmail verifications that we talk about. Because out of the billions of Gmail addresses being used today, the Gmail verifications, they added a different layer of protection. So their recipients, their address people, don't get spammed with spam emails and scams. So that's one thing you got to think about. We talked about this in other episodes too. How to craft your DMs. Lots of information there. And if you haven't checked that one out, make sure you do, because we cover a lot of this information there too as well. We look at the different types of formatting and what type of message you send per platform. It makes a big difference. That's all inside that one episode, Crafting Your DMs. The next one you should be looking at is you're pitching something that has value. Okay? Value-based pitching. All right? This is where your message, your cold email you're sending out, it stands out from all the others. Instead of listing your services, hey, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, show a quick insight. Something like a missed opportunity, a small improvement, or a result you could help them with. This is what you'll see in strong email outreach copywriting examples. Real case study for how freelance client acquisitions actually work. The breakdowns of how those happen. You're going to see that there's different phrases and formatting and words to use per platform. We went over that as well earlier, so make sure you pay attention to that as well. Now, when you end the message, just like everything else we write, everything we write, you have to include a good, compelling ending or a CTA. Not something like, hey, bro, let's hop on a call. Really? Use low friction. Ask questions like, open to sharing a quick idea. Or, I'm working on this. Have you thought about using this strategy? That's how you turn emails into conversations and eventually clients. This is a good way to pique the curiosity of that business owner, that person you're trying to make contact with. So you're not sending out the same message that everybody else sends. You're acknowledging something. You're doing something different. You're saying, hey, John or Fred or Shirley or whoever it is. You're personalizing it. You're giving them an option. You're saying, let's talk. Let me try to help you with something. Because it's not so much as getting your emails opened. It's about the relevant facts behind the message. Behind the message. The biggest mistake in email outreach that freelancers make, they don't follow up strategically. And that's true. We talked about that too as well. If you want a full system, one that you can customize to your needs, not just random tips from searching how freelancers get clients with cold emails. You need a repeatable outsourced process, something you can rely on. And that's exactly what's inside the Professional Outreach and Strategic Follow-Ups program. Inside, you'll learn how to build a complete freelance outreach system. You can cold email step by step, how to write emails and messages that book calls consistently, and how to follow up without sounding desperate. If you're serious about mastering how to pitch clients via cold email, how to build an outreach system for your niche, how to get better at outreaching overall, how to learn how to write the structures, the messages, the formatting, the words, the phrases, the techniques, all of it, check out the program below and start turning your outreach into real clients. Now, this is not some secret sauce or some different outreach method. It is the most precise and extensive learning program on outreach ever put together. So check out the link in the description box below. Let us know in the comments if you found this information useful. Like, share, and subscribe. Help us earn your like. And as always, don't stop learning so you can keep on earning. This is Jeff here at the Copy Shop. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, at the Copy Shop, we teach where others fail.